to get out here, talk with the audience. And, you weren't included in the debates last week, and the vice presidential debates are happening tonight.
Right.
So I just kind of wanted to let you voice your opinion on the situation and anything you want to say to the people out there. So here you go.
Well, just that it's really hurting the American public that most people don't know that there is a third person on the ballot in all 50 states and that Americans have a real choice. And I'd like to tell you, this was great news to us, which was after the debates, after the first presidential debates last week. Our website slowed to a crawl and then to a halt because so many people were trying to access it. So it's like, okay, we know what we don't want. Let's see what else is out there.
That's awesome. I know I tried going to the website right away because people were asking all sorts of questions. I was like, oh, I can make a meme or something, that might answer this for someone. And I couldn't even pull open your policies to get anything. It was great news. So I think what we can maybe all agree on, all we saw on that stage, in my opinion, was we saw two people arguing over which flavor of authoritarianism we should live under for 4 years. That was all there is. So instead of arguing over like what government should do, maybe what are some of the things that government shouldn't be doing in this time to help move America forward?
To move America forward? I mean, can I tell you what government should do, period?
Yeah, how about we start there?
Yeah, so what government should do is basically police, courts, and military. They're there to protect us, and that should be it. They're in every area of our lives making things worse. In fact, when people ask me why I'm running for president, I tell them it's because government is too big, too bossy, too nosy, too intrusive. But the worst part is that they usually hurt the very people they try to help. We've got the government in everything: education, healthcare, retirement. You just name it, and they're there. And I've been going around telling voters that you know best what's best for you, that you know better than any bureaucrat or special interest in Washington how to live your life, how to spend your money.
Very good. So we're coming down to the last month of this race, and I know you've been on the road, Spike's on the road, and everyone's doing everything they can to get this hauled in. What if there's one thing you could tell everyone out there to do to help you move, bring this home and make as big of an impact on the election as we can? What advice would you give to everyone out here watching? We have almost 300 people live right now, so.
Oh, well, what I would tell them is that if you're a Republican and you voted for Trump, I understand why you voted for Trump. He told you he's an outsider. He said, I'm a businessman. I know how to cut spending. I can cut the deficit, cut the debt. And, oh, by the way, I'll bring the troops home while I'm at it. Well, he's done none of that. And if you want to send a message to Trump, even if you don't think I'll win, and I'm still running to win, but even if you don't think I can win, at least send a message to Trump. Hey, this isn't why we put you in office. We put you in office because you were an outsider. Now start acting like one and stop acting like a professional politician, which is all he's been. And to the Democrats, I say, you know what? I remember the Democratic Party of the 60s. It was anti-war. It was pro-peace, pro-free speech, pro-individual, and it's none of that anymore. They muzzled Tulsi Gabbard, kept her off the stage, and we've got as much of a war hawk as anybody. So I don't even know why you would vote Democrat. The Democratic Party doesn't look like it. And so to all the Democrats, I ask, is Joe Biden your first choice? Or is it the Democratic establishment's choice? And if your candidate did not get selected, how about sending a message to the Democratic leadership? Hey, you know what? I'm a Democrat. I should be able to vote. I should be able to have some influence. You shouldn't be running the party. And by the way, so a vote for me would send a message to them. Hey, stop giving me candidates I don't like. Stop telling me who I should vote for. Let me tell you who I think I should vote for.
All right. I know you've been out and you've been having conversations with people, and that's not something you see Donald Trump or Joe Biden do. what are the people that you're meeting out there? What are the concerns of the people actually out there, rather than what the media is telling us are the concerns? What are you hearing, and what do you want to do about it?
Yeah, well, it's really funny because they're not saying so much, oh, my health care, or oh, I really want to bring the troops home. What they're saying is, who are these people and why do they think they should be president? You know, is this a joke? What these are the two best people they could come up with. They're just appalled, and they don't see it as a choice at all, because neither one's going to give, you know, basically do any follow up any other promises. They both want to spend our money. They both want to make decisions for us. They don't have any answers to the crushing healthcare costs, and neither one is going to bring the troops home. So they just look around and they say, oh my gosh, there's got to be something better.
All right. We got a lot of people in chat here. I'm seeing a few questions.
I'm a little ADHD. I keep seeing the little chat come up. It's wonderful to hear such encouraging words. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few questions coming in about your plans to fix the VA, and I know you've talked about that a lot, and I would never want to stop you from opportunity talking about how we're going to help the troops. So why don't you go with your thoughts?
First of all, I'm not even going to try to fix the Veterans Administration hospital system, because it's unfixable. It's a top-down monopolistic system that doesn't work for anyone. And all we have to do is look to England and look to Canada to see that monopolies do not work. And what we need is a free market healthcare system. And it drives me crazy when I hear politicians say, well, you know, the free market didn't work, so guess we need single payer. We haven't had a free market in almost a century. And if we had a free market, we would have such lower prices, because all we have to do is look to, well, for instance, the only two fields in our healthcare system would be LASIK surgery and cosmetic surgery. We've seen prices go down dramatically and quality go up. And by the way, yeah, LASIK surgery, it's amazing what they're doing now on such less money. So why don't we have that kind of competition in the healthcare field? And in places where we have seen competition, prices have gone down. For instance, in Singapore, their doctor visits are $10, and their cost per person for healthcare is about 1/3 what it is here. Oh, and by the way, so let me get to what I would do with veterans. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, see, I'm starting to become a typical libertarian and talk about what's wrong without a solution. So here's the solution. If you look at the state of Indiana, they came up with a system similar to Singapore, which is they put dollars in the pockets of their state employees. And by the way, this was a voluntary program, but within 2 years, like 75% chose it, because I saw what a great system it was. And generic drug use, by the way, went from 10% to 90%. And the good news is they were glad to do it because they got to keep the savings. And that's how it should be. You know, if you shop around for groceries or a new car or a computer, if you find a better deal, you get to keep the savings. So what I would do is I would actually put the money into the pockets of veterans and say, okay, you go out and you get to decide when and how and why to use them, not the government. And by the way, and it's not just this doctor versus that doctor. It could be a doctor versus alternative medicine. It could be massage therapy. It could be marijuana, by the way, because we'll legalize that and give them a choice. And by the way, I would also do the same thing with Medicare and Medicaid, because right now the government, thank you government for doing this, the government has bloated the prices so high, and by the way, that was sarcastic, the government has bloated prices so high that we couldn't simply say, okay, free market everyone, because nobody could afford it. So what I would do is I would put money into the pockets of veterans, Medicare and Medicaid recipients, and let them go out and shop around and let them get the competition ball rolling.
Okay. That was a great answer, and I think many
Thank you.
people here, if they're looking for to find that and look. Another one that I get asked a lot, and I know you have quite a bit of content on it, and I've posted clips where I could find them. But it's always good to have a good solid explanation. People hear us say we want open borders and more migration. Can you explain your policy out here for the immigration stance to everyone watching?
Sure. My grandparents, first of all, are immigrants. Three of my grandparents are immigrants, and they came over to this country before the country was closed down. A lot of people don't realize that we had open borders before the 1920s, and it worked just fine. And our country grew, and our country is strong because immigrants came over and made it strong. And now we've got the borders closed. I would open them back up to the way it was before and let more immigrants make this country stronger. And oh, by the way, if you look at some of the criticisms that people have, some people say, well, but they're a drain on the economy. Actually, that's not what the stats show, that they actually increase the GDP. And second, about crime, people who are born on foreign soil in this country commit fewer crimes than people who are born on American soil. So this would help make our country much stronger.
Thank you again, and I'll let you say goodbye to the audience here. So.
Okay, I'm at joe20.com, and by the way, 75% of our volunteers pretty much from the beginning have been from outside the party because people are fed up with the old system. So if you like what you heard, join our website, joe20.com. Thanks so much.